Before I get started, I want to introduce our staff. Many of you already know them, but Wendy O'Malley over here is Vice President of Operations. Liam Sullivan in the back is Director of Communications and Marketing. Brian Tracy, our Director of Programs and Program Development. Where's Brian? Over here. And Lori Sass is out front as our office manager. And many of you know Tricia Rush. She's not with us today because she started her maternity leave today and will be giving birth to a baby boy tomorrow. So we're all very excited about that, growing the PowerOptions family. I also want to thank our sponsors today. Direct Energy and Hess are our sponsors for the breakfast and luncheon. And we are very pleased with our partners. I hope all of you are as well. Very few suppliers really understand what PowerOptions is and what we do, and they work very hard with us to provide you the best service we can, as well as good pricing and good terms and conditions. But more than that, they're a true partner with us, and I think that's evident by the amount of people they have here today and their display. And so I want to thank them for their partnership as well as their sponsorship today. Also, I hope you'll get to meet two of our new program partners, Converge and SunEdison. You'll hear more about both our demand response programs and solar programs later today, but they too were people who impressed us as really understanding the value of our consortium, and it's reflected not only in the terms and conditions and pricing of our programs, but in the way they interact with us and the way they interact with you. So I hope you'll get to talk to them. I know that the agenda looks like a typical energy conference. There are a couple of differences, though. For one thing, you're here for free. And this kind of program would probably cost you anywhere from $500 to $1,500 to attend. But that's not the important thing. The important thing that I'd like you to think about is that this is a meeting of PowerOptions. This is not an energy conference. This is a meeting of you. We are a membership organization. I hope you all got a copy of our annual report and read it. If you didn't, there are copies out on the table. We're very proud of it. It is our first annual report as a standalone organization, no longer part of our former sponsoring agency, the Health Education Facilities Authority. And the focus of our annual report is the focus of our business, which is you as a membership organization. So talk to each other, share stories, network, get to know each other, because you can learn from each other. And so we hope that this environment will foster that as well. Last year, our focus was on sort of regional big picture issues. You heard from people who are very much involved in the planning of the system and understanding the growth in transmission costs and the interaction of energy efficiency and renewables on the planning process regionally and how that all flows through the market to you in terms of pricing. This year, we decided to be much more nuts and bolts focused. We hear from a lot of our members that, my commodity portion of my bill has gone down. It's now less than half my bill, but what about the rest of my bill? I don't understand it. How do I predict it? What's in it? And so we're going to have a panel. The first panel today is going to sort of break the code on that delivery charge and explain to you what's in it. Then we have a panel that's going to help you figure out how to manage your exposure to those costs and things like demand response. But it's more than that. It's energy management systems. It's using technology to manage your business. And before I go on, I was remiss in not introducing you to our board members. We have greatly expanded our board this year. We now are up to 8, and I'm very pleased to have 3 our newest board members with us today. Janet Besser, sitting right over here, who's a Vice President of Regulatory Policy for the New England Clean Energy Council. Daryl Byers over here is the Director of Development for WBUR. And George Forte, back in there, is with the Italian Home. And we're really thrilled to have all 3 of them on our board. It's another example of how PowerOptions is really growing and becoming stronger. They bring a great deal of knowledge and talent to the organization and are very helpful to me in guiding the future of the organization. So The day ahead is quite exciting, but it's most exciting as we kick it off this morning. We are very honored to have as our keynote speaker Attorney General Martha Coakley. Attorney General Coakley is a native of Western Massachusetts. She has a BA from Williams College and a JD from Boston University School of Law. She was re-elected to her second term as Attorney General in 2010, and she's been an advocate for many of the issues that are the core of the mission of PowerOptions and all of you. After serving as a distinguished prosecutor and as district attorney for Middlesex County, Attorney Janie Coakley was elected as the Commonwealth's first female Attorney General. Since then, her office became a national leader on several important issues, from health care and the mortgage crisis to human trafficking and holding Wall Street more accountable. But certainly from our perspective, it's been her work in the energy industry. I've been working in the energy industry mostly in New England my entire career. I hate to say it's almost 30 years. And I've never seen an attorney general that gets it the way she does, who understands that you can't just be focused on the state issues and what's going on at the state level to protect consumers. We are operating in a restructured wholesale market. And so she has dedicated the resources and staff to going to NEPOL meetings and to really be actively involved in what's going on in those forums, and has really made a lot of headway. And today, I would say it's the Attorney General from Massachusetts is very well respected in those circles, and those circles look to them for their opinion and value their input in what's going on. But at the state level, they've also been very effective. Since taking office in 2007, the Attorney General's office has saved consumers over $600 million in energy costs. They have aggressively advocated before the DPU in dozens of cases and cut over $100 million in rate requests. And her office initiated a petition to FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, to reduce transmission costs by $113 million annually. We are honored to have her here today to discuss state energy policy. And so please join me in welcoming Attorney General Martha Coakley.